Hello, parents and students. I just wanted to give you the weekly overview for comp this week. So as you can see on the screen, we have the calendar for the week. Tomorrow we're going to kick it off with just a little mini workshop, a writing lesson on active versus passive voice, and we'll do some fun activities there with memes. So we'll kind of carry that throughout the week. On Tuesday, we'll wrap that up, and then we're going to really dive into narrative techniques, looking at Amy Tan's Fish Cheeks. So we're going to look at the techniques that she uses so that we can build upon those techniques in our own writing. So we're going to annotate that text. We'll answer some questions as well. On Wednesday, you'll present your memes to the class, and we'll wrap up that Fish Cheeks work as well. On Thursday, we are going to dive back into another episode of This American Life. This episode is called Promised Land. So we will be listening to, I think it's Act 2 of that. No, it's Act 1 of that. That is called Across the Street from Heaven. So we'll listen to that piece. There's a transcript. We'll answer questions. It's a funny one. So I think you're going to enjoy that, whereas our last one was more kind of sentimental and serious. This act of this episode is funny. And we'll work on emulating sentences from that piece, mimicking an author's style. And then Friday, we'll wrap that up, and then we move our focus entirely to book blogs on Friday. On Friday, your first book blog entry is in fact due, so you will be sharing those entries with the class. You'll have a chance to respond to one another and give each other feedback on your entries, as well as do a little bit of communication about the books that you are reading. So you do want to be sure this week to really finalize that blog site to make sure you're happy with what your blog site looks like, and then to begin reading your independent reading book if you haven't yet, so that you're able to do a post for that on Friday. So we will be submitting that in the book blog section of our Google Classroom here. You'll notice also the book blog dates are all listed here if you'd like to see when we are collecting each of these things and how they are graded. So for this week, it's entry number 1. We're just formatively assessing this one on the style band of the rubric, and it's due on Friday. And then be sure when you're setting up your book blog itself to include all of this following information. And we'll go over this a little bit on Monday as well, since that Friday due date is coming up. So you want to have essentially an opening page, right? So you'll notice I have an opening page. You don't have to have the same information on your opening page that I do. We've given you some ideas of what you might want to include, so they're listed here. But you should have a home page, and then linked with under that, you should have a separate page that gives us the blog itself. If you want to have additional pages to that, you're welcome to. But you do need to have the blog on its own page so that we can easily find it when we're navigating your website. All right, this week in Flex, on Tuesday, I have already red checked students who need to be put in for missing work. So if you see that you're red checked, then that means you need to come to me for Tuesday. On Wednesday, we're doing Why I Write intervention. So all of the Why I Writes will be scored in the gradebook by then. If there are things that we really need to hit again, I'll red check you in for that. And then Thursday is reserved for my ERWC students as they are working on sonnet analysis. So it should be a good week, should be a fun week. I'm excited to dive into these narratives and really start looking at how it is that writers use style, and then we're going to practice emulating that writing. All right, have a wonderful last day of your weekend.